With the current popularity of Marvel and the MCU, it's surprising how little Marvel characters have had their own games, especially in the 2010s when Marvel was at an all-time high. There's been a lot of games released. 2 different Guardians of the Galaxy games, Lego games, a failed Marvel Avengers game, Marvel Contest of Champions, Midnight Suns, Ultimate Alliance, and Spider-Man, of course. And don't forget Marvel Rivals. If you didn't notice, most of these games feature ensembles, don't focus on specific characters. This is the main issue. We don't have any games exploring a specific character's story, rogues gallery, etc. Well, outside Spider-Man. And in this video, I'll be going over 4 altogether Marvel heroes and teams that need games, what those games will hypothetically look like. I won't be including any games that are being developed or have been announced, like Captain America Rise of Hydra, Blade, Wolverine, or Iron Man. So let's get into the video. The first character is Daredevil. I imagine this is the loading screen. This is kind of a no-brainer, which is why it's so surprising that they haven't done a Daredevil game yet. I would imagine this as a combination of Telltale, Ace Attorney, and Arkham. This game would have a sort of noir atmosphere. As Matt Murdock, you take on cases defending the innocent and the guilty, while in the night you traverse the streets as Daredevil, countering Hell's Kitchen's darkest corners. The gameplay style would be acrobatic but technical in its martial arts. During fights, you'll be able to swing off poles, utilize the billy club, attack enemies from the air, utilize kicks and batons. While similar to Arkham or Spider-Man, it should stand out with its own unique mechanics tailored to the character of Daredevil. As Daredevil hears and senses enemies as well as oncoming attacks, the sound focuses in on that specific enemy, allowing the players to dodge. Probably the most unique mechanic this game would have is what I call blind visuals. As Daredevil hears, smells, feels the vibrations around him, visuals of his surroundings form. Now, I could imagine this looking really dumb, like the game's map is slowly rendering, but the incomplete background should look really artistic, like the painted background of Earth 65 and Across the Spider-Verse. Sections of the map will be incomplete until you arrive there and complete the map with your senses. For fight sequences, I wouldn't utilize the blind visuals completely, but instead, specific enemies would be unknown until you're able to get a read off of them. This could be utilized to create suspense. Your senses get better throughout the game, as Daredevil is able to perceive his surroundings quicker and better develop his radar sense. Another mechanic that would be really cool is having the game lock in a 2D plane from the side in hallways, like the game Sifu, or the camera could lock from behind Daredevil. This would be a nod to Netflix Daredevil's hallway fight scenes. There will be side missions where Daredevil watches over the city from a rooftop, detecting crimes like muggings, carjackings, etc. During court cases is where the Ace Attorney elements as a lawyer would come out. You'd have different options to pick from, different evidence types to present, and you would need to find ways to win cases. There would be a few different weapons to use. The first weapons would be the classic batons, which do mid damage and give the player mid mobility, as well as the ability to be used as a projectile. It will not have any grappling features, which means players would have to perform parkour, Assassin's Creed style. These batons will also function as a recording device, which would have a story purpose, allowing Matt to gain evidence for some of his cases. There would also be the billy club, which is gifted to Matt by Stick to fight the hand. The billy club will be one club that serves as a melee weapon and can be thrown as a projectile. Its special feature would be the ability to be used as a nunchaku. It of course comes with a grappling feature allowing Daredevil to swing through the city. The billy club focuses on mobility and traversal as opposed to damage. Suits in this game would serve no story purpose and would just be there for players. You could use the classic Daredevil suit, the Wally Wood yellow and red suit, the suit from the Shadowland story, the all-black suit. All-black suit is the only suit that will affect gameplay. It comes with the wooden stick batons that do the most damage and can be thrown, but they limit your mobility. As for the story, Daredevil is a few years into his career, not to have battled Kingpin and Bullseye. The game opens with Daredevil battling criminals who work for Nelson and Murdock's client, the Owl. After some questioning, Daredevil finds the Owl's headquarters, where he's jumped by some more goons with guns. Sensing oncoming attacks, players are able to dodge enemies. We get our first boss fight, as Daredevil fights the Owl, but he's taken down and escapes within an inch of his life. The Owl has ferocious talons and is a dangerous brawler. At his house, Foggy mends his wounds. Matt reveals that he recorded his conversation with the Owl. Daredevil presents this evidence to the police, and a warrant is put out for Owlsley's arrest. As the feds confront him in his tower, the Owl runs, dodging the cops' fire. He dives off the roof, flying away. Just then, Daredevil lands on top of him. Owlsley flies throughout the city as Daredevil attempts to steer him away from the path of civilians. Eventually, you defeat the Owl, and Nelson and Murdoch serve as his lawyers. In this game, Kingpin is released from prison early on good behavior. He begins his campaign for mayor. Throughout the game, a series of murders will strike the city, with an enemy that Matt can't sense, that of course being Muse. Suspects include rival crime bosses, as well as Mr. Fear and his fellowship, and Kingpin. Kingpin is disproven to be the murderer, but Mr. Fear is still suspected. He would function similarly to Scarecrow from Arkham. Under Mr. Fear include Gladiator and Stiltman, who would be another boss fight where you have to dodge and weave the stomps from his telescopic legs. Stick arrives in New York, gifting Matt with the Billy Club for some war that's coming. When Kingpin somehow gets the most votes for mayor, Matt suspects that Kingpin might be blackmailing people. As you dig into Kingpin's affairs, you encounter another boss fight against Bullseye, who targets civilians during his battle. Another assassin hired as Elektra, Matt's old love interest, who trained with Stick. Eventually, Daredevil discovers that Elektra is part of the Hand, and the Hand has blackmailed people to vote in favor of Fisk. Kingpin and the Hand agree to share control of the city once he takes office. Daredevil, Stick, and the Chase pit the Hand and Kingpin against each other. There will be a battle between Kingpin's Empire and the Hand. Bullseye and Elektra battle each other, representing each side. The Hand comes out on top. In the final battle, the war between the Chase and the Hand rages on, and Elektra will be the final boss fight. The next game is The Punisher. This will be an open-world game in the vein of GTA. The game involves Punisher going after various crime families, gangs, and violent criminals. This will be a typical third-person shooter, and like the Punisher's game from the early 2000s, it would utilize interrogation mechanics. The gameplay would consist of long-range to close-quarters combat. Punisher would use anything from knives, pistols, shotguns, assault rifles, machine guns to explosives and bombs to take out his enemies. You would need to rely on tactical skill as opposed to going into missions guns blazing. The knife will be utilized for close-quarter takedowns. Punisher is only human, so he would need to take out his enemies stealthily and conserve ammo. But you also have the option to steal guns from downed enemies, but you need to do this quickly before other enemies are alerted to your position. This is risky, so it is recommended to preserve ammo. Ammo doesn't reset after every mission, so you would need to get more and prepare going to every mission. Some side missions involve kidnapping and interrogating a criminal in order to gain info. In the armory, you can also acquire, armor and different vests to better protect oneself during combat. But the armory ain't cheap, so you still need to conserve ammo and play smarter. In the game, Punisher enlists the help of Micro, which allows players better intel as well as surveillance and reconnaissance through Micro's drones. In addition, the Punisher would use informants to gain intel in the criminal underworld. The villains in this game range from drug lords, crime bosses, and violent enforcers. You know, the usual Punisher enemies. Villains include Magnusi and her crime family. The Russian in this game will be employed by Magnusi and will be a major boss fight. Other bosses include the drug-addicted, sadistic Barracuda and Jigsaw, a criminal with a vendetta against the Punisher. Jigsaw will be employed by the Magia. The Magia's three factions will be the main villains of the game. Hammerhead will be the low-level faction, while Madam Mask and Silvermane will be the high-tech threats, serving as boss fights. Another major boss fight will be Bushwhacker, who works under Madam Mask, and he will be a cyborg threat who can morph his arms into many different weapons. Micro's intel allows you to access the Magia's weapons shipment, evening the playing field. And also, I forgot to mention that throughout the game, you have to evade the police, who serve as a major annoyance, but they wouldn't be corrupt cops. The next character is Thor. I would imagine his game in the vein of something like God of War. The game would feature a vast amount of locations throughout the 9 realms, from Asgard to Jotunheim to Svartalheim, home of the Dark Elves, Nidavellir, Alfheim, home of the Light Elves, etc. Costumes for this game, like Daredevil, have no bearings on the story or gameplay and will be there for cosmetic purposes. Thor is of course able to throw his hammer, use it as a melee weapon, spin it around for a spin attack in the air. He's able to use different combos to achieve various different effects. He could use lightning attacks by charging up the hammer in the sky. They range from basic attacks to smashing his hammer onto the ground, causing lightning shockwaves, affecting multiple enemies at a time. The game opens with Thor and the Warriors 3 battling hell demons on Muspelheim, with Surtur serving as the opening boss. Thor later arrives on Midgard, where he briefly fights an old villain of his who was empowered by Loki, the Absorbing Man. Thor learns from the Absorbing Man that Loki has somehow escaped or broken free from whatever Odin had imprisoning him. Thor is given the quest by Odin to find Loki. Loki would act like the Riddler from Arkham, an annoying villain who taunts you, all while leaving clues to find him. You would track Loki to Jotunheim, tearing through frost giants on your journey. Throughout the battle, Loki taunts you using his illusions. The next boss would be Laufey, but just when you defeat him, he and Loki teleport away with the Casket of Ancient Winters. Thor then summons the Bifrost, returning to Asgard as you are overwhelmed by a Jotun horde. Heimdall discovers that Loki is joined by someone else, the mastermind behind all of this, Malekith. Thor travels throughout the realms to find the villains, eventually learning that Malekith and many enemies of Asgard intend on collecting the Norn Stones to gain power and conquer the 9 realms. Thor intends to prevent the enemies from gaining all the Norn Stones by finding their locations before Malekith does. Thor will also travel to Niflheim, countering Hela in a cool sequence where Thor journeys through the realm of the dead. Thor convinces Hela to help him as the villains intend to conquer the entire 9 realms, including Niflheim. Other bosses would include Mangog and Curse. Malekith collects all the Norn Stones just before he invades Midgard. Thor, with the help of the Warriors 3, Sif, and Hela, battle Malekith and his forces. The characters who would be perfect for a game is the Fantastic Four. This will be an action-adventure game with RPG elements. The game opens with a cutscene as Mole Man attacks Manhattan. His moles wreak havoc on the city. As a building falls, almost crushing a girl, you would save her as the Thing in a quick-time event. This game would focus on exploration and protecting the public from villains. The game would have many locations to explore. Of course, the Baxter Building and Manhattan, Subterranea, Monster Isle, Latveria, the Negative Zone, and many other locations. This is where the RPG elements would shine, specifically old-school turn-based RPG elements. Exploring new locations would activate something similar to random encounters. The gameplay would allow players to switch between characters they want to use in a specific sequence, or you could have co-op with others. There will be all sorts of team-up moves that you could use. Scenes that are important to the game are a little different. There are different sections in a sequence, and in those sections, you would need to use specific characters for a specific purpose, while the CPU plays as the rest of the team. Each character would have their own side missions, ranging from fighting low-tier villains like Paste Pot Pete, or retrieving blueprints from across the city for Reed. Missions for Mr. Fantastic would involve things like solving equations or constructing technology using blueprints. As for Johnny, it could be things like performing favors for his college friend Wyatt Wingfoot. I have no idea what I should do for the Thing and Sue, so comment down below what do you think the side missions for those two would be. Each character will have their own way to traverse the city, the most obvious being the Human Torch, who would just fly around. Mr. Fantastic is able to stretch and extend his body to traverse the city, something akin to Elastigirl. The Invisible Woman is able to levitate and glide on her disc-shaped invisible force fields, and the Thing is able to traverse the city using disguises and moving throughout the sewers. If you've seen my video on Fantastic Four #1, you've seen the panels of the Thing bursting through doors and emerging from the ground. It's really funny. Each character's suit can be customized individually You can create your own designs or pick different costumes throughout the Four's history from comics and outside media. Villains range from minor villains like the previously mentioned Paste Pot Pete to main Fantastic Four enemies, including the Skrulls, Annihilus, Blastar, Doctor Doom, Galactus, Mad Thinker, and the Impossible Man. After Reed develops a machine to access the Negative Zone, together, the four heroes explore this strange world, and they encounter and fight the Bellurians, culminating in a boss fight against Blastar. After escaping the Negative Zone and returning to Earth, portals to the Negative Zone open up all throughout the world, even Latveria, where you fight against Doctor Doom, then team up with him to close the portal. Arthurosian bugs exit the portal, attacking civilians. The team works together to close these portals. When the final portal is closed, Annihilus walks through, serving as a major boss. The Skrulls would also be a problem, culminating in a battle with Super Skrull, combining the team's powers. This would be an important sequence where you must use strategy to beat Super Skrull. After defeating him, you travel to Skrullos, as their planet is approached by Galactus. The team travels across the planet, trying to obtain materials needed to construct the ultimate nullifier. The final boss fight is Galactus. While Reed constructs the nullifier, the rest of the team attempts to protect the planet from Galactus. And that's my list of Marvel heroes and teams that deserve their own game. From the gritty noir-style Daredevil experience, to a tactical and brutal Punisher sandbox, to a mythic Thor epic across the 9 realms, and a fully fleshed out Fantastic Four adventure. There's so much untapped potential here that could rival anything the MCU has done on screen. And these were only 4 games. There are so many other characters who make for perfect video games. Comment down below any of your ideas. Stay tuned.